Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we are talking Ready to Love Potomac. Today we are talking more fallout from the Dakiya, Clifton, JOI triangle. And I have no idea why there is still fallout, because Dakiya, Miss Dakiya, as you guys saw in my video yesterday, she's happy and thriving. She debuted, you know, her new boyfriend, the guy that she mentioned what she was in an exclusive relationship with at the reunion. Clifton and JOI appear to be thriving. He proposed with a key to his apartment, and they are on the news stations talking about their relationship or what have you. So I have no idea why these DMs are coming out now, but we'll talk about it. So somebody leaked some DMs that I guess I'm presuming that they were showing their support to Clifton and, you know, wishing him well or whatever else, or telling them that he was one of their favorites from the show or what have you, and probably wanted to get some tea. So it says the following. This is allegedly Clifton's response, right? This is allegedly Clifton's response. If Clifton didn't say this, please let me know so that we can address this. But it says the following. It says, "Thank you so much, love. So many people are mad/hating. Here's what really happened. She told JOI that she was going to take me from her multiple times. What broke the camel's back was on the third occasion, she had a wine party and told the ladies there that when JOI leaves for Mexico, she was going to try to, quote, F Clifton. As you guys know, bleep Clifton, have sex with Clifton, what have you, right? So then it says from there, it says, now anyone in their right mind would have eventually lashed out. Y'all only see what happens on camera. She never denied it. She says it was, quote, taken out of context." So here's my thing. Let's say allegedly this is true, right? Let's say allegedly Dakiya was saying, hey, I can take Clifton. Hey, I can have sex with Clifton. Hey, I can do this with Clifton, blah, 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 blah. Clifton, why didn't you shut this down? Is my question. Why didn't you as a man shut this down and say, hey, this is inappropriate. This is an uncomfortable conversation. I'm all about JOI. Let's not do this. Let's not take this there. But instead, you guys, we were shown on the show multiple dates with Dakiya, multiple instances where they were flirting with each other, him basically leading Dakiya on until the retreat. And then in the reunion special, we saw additional never-before-seen dates. Saw additional sexual conversations, additional flirting, additional innuendos, conversations about, hey, are we going to let each other know if, you know, we choose our number ones, or if we're going exclusive with our number ones, or what have you. We saw all of that. So if you were uncomfortable, Clifton, why were you engaging in this talk with Dakiya? And not only that, but you didn't deny that you guys were also having late night phone conversations during this process. So even if this is true, and Dakiya, feel free if you want to rebut any of this and tell your side, you know, we can report on that as well. However, if say all this is true, right? You still entertained Dakiya at the end of the day, right? Whether it was for game, whether it was for, you know, your own flirting purposes, or whether you wanted to see how far it could go before you ultimately had to commit to JOI, whatever, you were playing a game, whatever, you still entertained this versus shutting it down. And so the fact of the matter is, you went and told JOI because you knew JOI would confront Dakiya. But you could have just as easily let Dakiya know, hey, this isn't it. We shouldn't be having these conversations. But like on the show, you couldn't break things off with Dakiya. She had to remove herself from the situation because you refused to tell her, hey, I'm all in with JOI, and just left her hanging. And so I presume that if this is true, allegedly, that you did the same thing, that you left Dakiya hanging and told JOI all of this, told her about your conversations and this and that, and that's what caused JOI to be so upset at the reunion. But what you aren't telling JOI is you were flirting back, you were also entertaining the sex talk, and you never shut down Dakiya. You never told Dakiya, hey, this is not it. We shouldn't be talking like this. This conversation is inappropriate. We should not be, you know, taking things here or whatever else. We should just be friends. You never said anything like that to, you know, Dakiya, to let her know what it was. You let her know that she was still an option as a possibility to go to the end. You still were saying enough to Dakiya to still give her hope that something more potentially could happen, or at the minimum, a hookup could happen, you guys. So that is why, you know, even at the end of the day, even if this is true, you still entertained Dakiya enough to give her hope. You still had enough conversations with her for her to think something could happen between the two of you when it was all said and done. So instead of you shutting it down, you went to Joy because you knew Joy would go off on Dakiya. And then you get to sit there and look innocent and look like you didn't do anything, even though the footage shows otherwise. So that's really the only thing. Can Alexa play Toni Braxton, Just Be a Man About It? Can we have that? Alexa, play Toni Braxton, Just Be a Man About It, because what the heck? Like, that's the biggest issue that I have this season, is the pettiness and the messiness involved with some of these men. And it's like, if you guys are just upfront with these ladies, if you just tell these ladies what it is, we wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be all this backlash. But the problem was, you guys wanted to have your cake and eat it too. Let's keep it a buck. You were attracted to multiple women. Let's keep it a buck. Some of you didn't like when the women had multiple options and multiple connections. And then if you felt a certain way that they chose somebody else and not you, you wanted to air them out. You wanted to, quote, expose them. Meanwhile, none of these women are speaking on things. None of these women are on social media or on Twitter or on YouTube or wherever who are trying to continue to defend whatever, because they're not getting the backlash like this. The people who are getting the backlash are the people that keep going on and on and on, trying to argue the point, but then they're not owning, hey, I was out of line. Hey, I shouldn't have said that. Hey, I shouldn't have did that. Hey, I crossed the line. I could have approached this in a mature manner. Hey, I should have told her that, hey, we were just friends and that there was nothing more that was ever going to happen between us, this and that. And the other thing is, I think Joy is kind of misconstruing connection with what a relationship was. Clifton can have multiple connections. This is the dating show, right? Everyone can have multiple connections, right? There was no instance at this point that, you know, Clifton was all in with Joy. Now, the other side to this is if he's telling Joy a different narrative and making it seem as though Dakiya is just coming on to him and he's all about her, then that's a totally different situation at hand, right? Because now you're playing people. Now you're playing people against each other so that you can look like you're the innocent person in all this. And that's not okay. That is not okay at all. So even if this, I said, allegedly is true, it is still inappropriate for you to, you know, basically use Joy to be the person to go after Dakiya when you've had ample time, ample opportunities, ample dates, ample phone conversations, ample flirting, ample sex talk to shut this down with Dakiya when it was all said and done. And that's all I want from these men. Just be a man about it. Just hold accountability. Hey, I indulged. I was inappropriate too. Hey, I let her on until the retreat because I didn't want to get sent home. I wanted to make it to the end of the show with Joy, but I needed to have multiple connections so I don't get eliminated. What is wrong with just saying that? So everybody knows where they stand. But when you indulge and then you tell Joy all this stuff, but then you remain quiet and just sit there and let Joy pop off like this to the point that Dakiya is crying and Dakiya is in tears because she's realizing, hey, she got played. That even with what her account is true, she still got played ultimately. And now she's cussing her out because she's mad that Dakiya has certain feelings for Clifton, but at the same token, Clifton didn't shut it down. So it's like you can't have it both ways, you guys. And this is the issue with these dating shows. And this is why I have a problem with, you know, how there's so much stuff that's taking place off camera. And then we're getting a different narrative of what's being on the show. And then we get to the reunion and everybody's wilding out because there's all this off camera stuff that's taking place. But ultimately, you have to own that you were still entertaining Dakiya when it was all said and done. There is no point in any of these conversations where you said, hey, I shut things down with Dakiya and XYZ took place. In all of the things that we have been shown, it has been shown that you also were still entertaining it. That you were also giving it back to her just like she was giving it to you. So that's really what Joy should be pissed about. She should be pissed about the male not keeping it a buck with her on what it really was between him and Dakiya. And I hope by now that Joy has watched back these episodes to see, hey, there was a lot more going on with Clifton and Dakiya to give Dakiya enough reason to feel the way that she felt. It wasn't all in her head. She wasn't being delusional. So there was enough there. It may have not led to a relationship, but there was enough there to where it was indicated to Dakiya that Clifton was at the minimum attracted to her. Clifton at the minimum was sexually attracted to her. Clifton at the minimum was still open to Dakiya, even if he really wasn't. This is what he was telling her, right? And that's what we have to discuss. That's what we have to go on, you guys. Now, if he had shut it down, and this was still happening, that's a different story. But from what we saw on the show at the retreat, and what we're seeing even from these DMs, nothing was ever shut down on his end. He just wanted to basically play a certain part to Joy and say, hey, I'm the victim. I'm the person where this girl is just all over me. She's bragging about me to her friends, and I just don't know what to do. I'm completely helpless. I have nothing I can say or do to help myself. No. No. You can tell her, hey, I'm not into this. Let's shut this down. Let's just be friends. But you also entertain it, which gives the indication that you were feeling the same way. And that's all it is. That is all it is. Can we just keep it a buck? Can we just be a man about it and keep it a buck of what it really was, you guys? And that's all that I have. Please let me know your guys' thoughts. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.